There are many strange and bizarre mysteries out there in the world.
And we'd like you to join us as we attempt to unlock the secrets behind some of them.
We explode one of the world's greatest myths, the Bermuda Triangle.
How did a group of people miraculously cheat death in an amazing tale of coincidence?
And if you think seeing is believing, then look again. All is not what it seems.
It's a mystery what the Bermuda Triangle really is. Well, within this sinister triangle of deep ocean, just off the coast of America, there have certainly been many reports of mysterious happenings. Sailors and pilots have reported the sea turning black, strange lights, and eerie silence. What's more, many ships and planes have completely vanished without a trace. Well, in the next few minutes, we're going to finally solve the mystery of the Bermuda Triangle.
Now, the most famous triangle mystery happened on the 5th of December 1945, when Flight 19 took off from Florida in broad daylight. It was a routine patrol, and the 5 planes should have been back at base within 2 hours. But after only an hour and a half, they began sending back distress signals.
Come in, Control. I can't see any land. Everything looks strange. Come in, Control.
Just over 2 hours later, the radios went dead. Silence. Flight 19 had completely vanished.
A rescue flying boat was sent to Flight 19's last recorded position in the Bermuda Triangle, but mysteriously, it too disappeared from the radar. It too had vanished without a trace.
But that's not all. There are many more reports of planes, ships and submarines mysteriously vanishing. Take the Japanese steamship, the Rafuku Maru. In 1925, it disappeared without trace whilst travelling in the Bermuda Triangle. Its last radio message?
Come quick, please. We cannot escape.
And then there was silence. Or take the submarine, the Scorpion, which had 99 experienced crew aboard. It disappeared 28 years ago, and a massive search for her found nothing.
So what do you think? What's at the heart of this strange triangle of ocean? Could it be a powerful magnetic force? Could it be that they were all caught in a time warp? Or is it that the area is jinxed?
Well, one of the latest theories is that the planes and ships were dragged under the water by huge methane gas explosions from deposits beneath the ocean floor. Now, these would be so powerful, causing tidal waves, that they would completely engulf any boat or low-flying aeroplane.
There's certainly some truth in this theory. Huge gas deposits have been found under the ocean floor in the Triangle area, but there are gas deposits in the ocean floor all over the world, not just off the coast of Bermuda.
So if that theory is open to question, let's take a closer look at some of the other incidents. What about the evidence for the famous Flight 19? Well, on closer investigation, it turns out that the lead pilot's compass had failed, so they didn't know which direction they were flying in. Also, they didn't have a clock or watch with them, so they didn't know how long they'd been flying. They were all new to the area, and there were no landmarks. Before long, it was dark and stormy, and so they had gone so far in the wrong direction that they were completely lost. Eventually, they just simply ran out of fuel and crashed into the ocean.
And as for the flying boat, which had set off to rescue them, it was a plane well known for having fuel leaks. Any spark could have set it alight. In fact, a ship in the area witnessed an explosion at the right time and the right position. So, not much of a mystery there. What about the other cases?
Well, on closer examination of the evidence, we found that the Japanese ship, the Rafuku Maru, was actually spotted by another boat as she sank in extremely rough seas. But this was 700 miles north of the so-called Bermuda Triangle.
As for the submarine, well, it was later found at the bottom of the ocean, right over here. Nearer to Africa than to Bermuda.
And many more incidents reported as part of the Bermuda Triangle mystery also turn up well outside the area.
So much for our triangle. If anything, it should be more like the Bermuda Splodge. Or at least it would be if incidents like these didn't happen all over the world. You see, statistics prove that although there are mysterious sinkings, these happen in every ocean and sea across the world, usually because of severe storms. In fact, evidence shows that just as many boats sink off the coast of Spain as they do near Bermuda.
So, the Bermuda Triangle myth sinks without a trace.
It's a mystery what happened to a church when everyone was late for choir practice.
Just picture this. A beautiful little wooden church nestles in the heart of the countryside. Not dissimilar to this one. Now, the same things happen at this church week in, week out. People visit from time to time. The flower arranger calls Mondays. And Thursday evenings, regular as clockwork, choir practice starts at 7 o'clock prompt. On a normal Thursday evening, you would see the 20 members of the choir arriving, making their way down the path to the church, ready for their weekly practice to start. At 7 o'clock, they were never late. But on one particular Thursday evening, things weren't going quite according to plan. The minister's wife had run into a tricky problem pressing her daughter's dress.
I really think we ought to be going, dear.
Yes, but Mrs. Drew did say she may call in this evening, and she gave Blossom this dress for her birthday.
Oh, I don't expect anybody will notice a crease in her dress, dear.
I won't be a minute,
Yes,
honestly.
well, be as quick as you can.
Blossom!
What am I going to do? Esther's gone down with food poisoning and I've got nobody to cover the lunchtime.
Meanwhile, on the other side of town, two other members of the choir were slightly late because they wanted to listen to a particular radio programme.
How much longer? Only another 10 minutes. But if we go now, we'll miss the end. And none of this will make sense.
OK, but Mrs. Jacobs won't like it. In fact, she's sure to give us one of those looks. I can still remember the last time that happened.
Coincidentally, another member of the choir was still at home, desperately trying to solve a maths problem.
Yeah, so you times by 5 and cross multiply and... oh, no, I don't get any of those answers. Yeah, wait a minute, I'll just go and get my maths book, OK.
At exactly the same time, a Mr. and Mrs. Peterson had found that their car wouldn't start.
Oh, I don't believe it. I'm sure I fixed it.
We're going to be late.
Yeah, I know. This always happens when you're in a hurry. Let me try something else. Oh, let me have a service.
And so this went on. In fact, amazingly, not one member of the entire church choir arrived on time.
So what do you think the chances of that are? Incredibly, 20 people, all late, all on the same day for different reasons. Weird, isn't it? But the mystery doesn't end there. Because on that Thursday, at 7 p.m. precisely, the time choir practice was due to start. The church was engulfed in an explosive ball of flames.
Incredibly, the minister and his family were still at home.
Well, when Esther had the diamond valued by a jeweller in Russell Street, she had the shock of her life.
The radio show hadn't quite finished.
I'll just try it again.
The girl still hadn't managed to work out her maths problem.
Well, that's not what I'm getting.
And this couple still couldn't get their car to start. In fact, for one reason or another, every single member of the choir was late. A young boy had had a puncture on his bike, and Mr. Partridge had spent all afternoon gardening and had forgotten about the time. The minister was supposed to pick up Mrs. Jacobs, but of course, the minister was late himself. Whatever the strange reason was for them all being late, it had saved their lives, because at the precise moment they were due to start choir practice, a giant gas explosion had completely destroyed the entire church.
What an absolutely incredible coincidence that they should all have been late on the same day. But why? Was it just a coincidence? Were they all just very lucky? Or was it some other strange twist of fate? What do you think? It's a mystery to me why woodpeckers don't get headaches. Woodpeckers peck at trees with their beaks to get at the grubs inside and to make holes to nest in. Some can peck up to 12,000 times a day. Well, that's like being hit over the head with a hammer 12,000 times a day. Surely it gives them a headache.
Well, of course, woodpeckers don't get headaches.
And that's my point. Why not? Why don't woodpeckers get headaches?
Well, it's like this. Look, does this give you a headache?
Well, yeah, it would if you did it 12,000 times a day.
OK, try this. Just put that on.
OK.
And let me try it again. Any better?
Yeah, that is actually.
Does it give you a headache?
No.
OK, we'll try this. Put that on as well.
Right.
Now,
see if this works.
Very nice. Suits you. Let me see. Does that hurt?
No, can't feel it at all.
Feel anything?
Nope.
OK, well now Sophie is like a woodpecker. Now a woodpecker has a special pad of muscle just round about here where their strong bill joins the skull, and this acts as a kind of shock absorber for the bird, who pecks or drums, wait for this, up to 20 times per second.
Wow, that's incredible. Up to 20 times a second, that's really impressive. If I could manage that, then I really would have a headache. Surely woodpeckers must have more than just a little bit of shock absorber to help them.
Well, despite their strong bill and special muscles, the shock waves from pecking do still travel through the woodpecker's head. But the woodpecker's brain, compared to ours, is much smaller and sits above the path of the shock wave as it passes through the bird's head. So a woodpecker's brain kind of dodges the shock.
Now, if I really was a woodpecker, then my beak would be lower down, somewhere below my little brain, which is about here. So if I pecked like a woodpecker, the shock waves would miss my brain.
And just for added safety, woodpeckers also have a thicker skull compared to us, which helps them absorb shock even more. So they really are very well designed.
Well, with all this amazing protective stuff, that's why woodpeckers don't get headaches.
Hi, I'm Charlie Pragnell. I come from Eastbourne in East Sussex. I work on Eastbourne Pier as the operations manager. I've been here 12 years and I think this place is haunted. In December 1993, I was working in this part of the void between 3 and 4 o'clock in the morning, cutting these bits of wood, and picked the jigsaw up, went to cut this bit, nothing. Looked down at the switch and it had been switched off, and I was the only person that was on the pier that night. I turned around and these battens were swishing back to and fro. I turned around and said, "Stop mucking about," and the batten stopped. Another time, I was working up in the Channel Bar. I'd set myself up some work to do through the night, and I'm the only person on the pier, and I heard this rushing sound, and I kind of looked up, and this big great ball paper chain dropped from the ceiling for no reason at all. These goings on are really bizarre. There is no logical explanation for them, but they really did happen.
What do you think? Is there a logical explanation for all this? Well, Charlie Pragnell said he had witnessed some wooden battens in a barrel mysteriously move. How could solid pieces of wood do that? And how could an electrical switch turn itself off? Well, we contacted the Electricity Association to see whether they could come up with any explanation.
This sounds most unusual. A socket in good working order should not switch off by itself. However, the strong vibrations of a heavy-duty appliance, like an electric jigsaw, could cause a faulty socket switch to turn off. Although unlikely, this is a possible explanation.
So could the socket have been faulty? Was Charlie just imagining things? Or is Eastbourne Pier really haunted? What do you think? Well, Charlie was convinced. But what about his colleagues?
There's definitely something strange about this pier. I had to stay the night here when the night watchman was sick, and I'd never do it again.
This has got to be the most bizarre pier in the world. I know that it sounds crazy, but I know what I saw. This pier is haunted.
It's a mystery how your eyes can deceive you. Just take a look at this. Now, it looks like an ordinary triangle, but look closely. Notice anything weird? Well, if I do this, my hand goes right through it. And if you move around, you'll see it's not a triangle at all. It's something completely different. It's sort of a 3D twisted shape. Well, this is an optical illusion.
Amazing. The same thing happens with these road markers that you probably pass every day without even noticing. They all look pretty much the same, don't they? Cylindrical. But when you look at them from the top, you can see that only one of them is round and the other two are semicircular. Because our brain expects them to be round, like a solid post, we see them as being round.
Okay, try this one. Take a look at this mask. Notice anything strange? Well, see what happens when you move around it. Look at that. The face starts to move with you. It seems to follow you. Just try it again. There it goes, look at that. Bizarre. And what's even weirder is that the mask is hollow. Look at that. The features are pointing inwards, not outwards as first thought. Now, because your brain is used to and actually expects features like a nose to point outwards, well, when you look at a face like this one and see that the nose is pointing inwards, your brain tries to make sense of this and makes you think that it's coming out towards you.
And here's another optical illusion. Take a look at this drawing of a staircase. Now, imagine that you're walking up it. Here you go. One side. And ha-ha. You then find it's impossible because you never get to the top. You just keep going round and round and round in circles.
Drives me mad, that one. So all this goes to prove that you shouldn't always believe what you see. It's not the objects that you are looking at that are weird. It's how you see them and the way that your brain translates this information that is weird.
And if you trick the brain, the results can be very confusing. You are being deceived by yourself.
So we've managed to solve some more of the amazing mysteries of the world.
But many more remain. We'll be making further investigations next time.
But here's one last mystery for you to solve.
2 dead bodies were found on the living room carpet. The window was open and broken glass was found on the floor. There were no marks found on the bodies and they hadn't been poisoned. The mystery is, what had happened to them?
Can you solve it? We'll reveal the answer next time.
Last week's final mystery was, you enter a dark house to find an oil lamp, a gas fire and a stove. You only have one match. So which do you light first? The answer is the match, of course.